Guys, it's 10 weeks postpartum, and things are going really well. Laura is starting to go to sleep. It looks like it. I've got her in the swing. Um, the last few weeks, I think, been interesting. She's starting to, now that my letdown reflex has settled down a lot, she's starting to comfort suck a lot to put herself to sleep. And because we're co-sleeping, it's really, really hard. So we're getting out of that. And she doesn't have a silent reflux problem anymore, which is coming out of her nose and her mouth simultaneously. She's right to go back in the bassinet. So we've been doing that. And it's going pretty well. During the day, she sleeps in her cot, which she's starting to get into a really, really good routine with, actually. She sleeps on her belly. She won't sleep on her back or her side in the cot. It's her belly. Like 30 seconds of having a sook, she's fast asleep. Whereas if I put her in the bassinet, she will cry for at least an hour. But straight on her belly in the cot, it's 30 seconds and she's out like a light. I thought I would just do a quick things I wish people had have told me / what I wish I had have known when pregnant and during the labour and having a newborn. I think with pregnancy, it's really, really hard to gauge how people are going to handle like the later stages. But I had like the SPD problem, and then because I'd had the miscarriage, I had like a constant anxiety about something going wrong. So basically, pregnancy is just a whirlwind of emotions. Something I have found out since having her though, I cry at everything. Like, I'm not depressed and I'm not upset, and it's not an emotional, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to cry because I'm having a bad day type thing. It's, for example, driving home yesterday, I pulled up behind a pet cremation van thing. Like, it had pictures of cats and dogs in like a pet heaven on the back, like they're up in the clouds. I sat at the red light and I bawled my eyes out at this thing. So I'm not by any means depressed or upset. It's just I have so many triggers now. It's not even funny. I will cry at literally anything. And so I'm really waiting for that to go away because it's very embarrassing, and I'm not really a fan of that because people look at me as if I'm just so I'm not handling that very well at the moment because I'm a mess. When I see something that upsets me, I'm a mess. Something I wish someone had told me about breastfeeding. It's really hard. Like, for me, I don't know if it's just because I've got like bigger boobs or what, but I found it very hard. It took me about 3 or 4 weeks to learn how to do it properly and efficiently and go without a hitch. And like, I thought that breastfeeding would be a lot easier than what it was. I don't know why I had so much difficulty with it. I had great support from lactation consultants and the hospital, and like everyone was very, very good. Just, I don't know, like I don't think it was her, I think it was more me, and just it was really hard. So that's something that I wasn't expecting at all. Something I wish someone had have told me about having a newborn is it's not really that hard. People had told me to cook and cook and cook and store all these frozen meals, and that it was going to be hectic and I was going to be in such a bad shape and I was always going to be tired and I was going to have the baby blues, and like everyone just kept dumping all this negativity on me, and I don't think I let it be expressed that I was worried about it or had concern about it, but I really was. I didn't go through the baby blues period. I didn't have any postnatal depression at all. I wasn't in the early days. I would breastfeed her sitting up in bed, and I'd fall asleep holding her over night time. But once I learned how to breastfeed her laying down on my side, that improved everything a lot easier and quicker. I just have to be careful how she's positioned so she doesn't get smothered by my boobs. But yeah, so maybe the first 2 nights I was absolutely exhausted, but after that I adapted very, very quickly, and I'm surprised at how quickly I did adapt. So I've always still been able to clean and cook and like maintain my household. It wasn't like an Armageddon like I had been expecting, that everyone had kind of thrusted upon me, that there was going to be this notion of impending doom. But that was okay. Something I'm not too sure about. In my video I said that I had a 2nd degree tear on the outside and 2 grazes on the inside. The grazes are completely gone. I don't feel that at all anymore. But with that tear on the inside, I think that I should have been stitched. I haven't gone to the doctors. I haven't said anything to the doctors. I don't want to bring it up at the doctors. I'm not going to say anything. But I can still feel that tear. Like, it's even when I sit on the toilet to do a wee. Sex is extremely uncomfortable, so that just doesn't happen anymore. It hurts if I sit down on an angle, or if I sit down too quickly. Like, I can still feel that tear. So I don't know what's going to happen about that. And if anyone has any similar experience with that, that would be great, because I'm kind of really, really worried about that, but not worried enough to see a doctor. Something I wish someone had told me about postnatal periods was, before I fell pregnant, my periods used to be awful. Very heavy, very painful, and they would go for about a week and a half. Like, it was just hell. Now it's maybe 3 days maximum, and it's very, very light bleeding, which is awesome. And I don't get cramps or anything anymore, so I don't know if that's just my body easing in and remembering how to menstruate, or if this is what it's going to be like from now on. And if it is, that's awesome, and I can handle that. But I'm stuck with pads now because I can't bear to put a tampon in because of that tear. And that is how bad it is. I'm not. So I think that's about it, really. She's getting to the point now. I think it is still the comfort sucking, but when she gets tired, she cries a lot. Like, if we're out in public and I can't feed her, or if I don't want to feed her because I know she's not hungry, she just wants to suckle me to fall asleep, and she will cry and cry and cry. So I'm not sure really what's going to happen about that, because we're basically homebodies. I go visit my mum every 2-3 days, but really we don't go out that much, which is why I'm putting on a lot of weight. And it's not very good for her to be home all the time either, because I want to expose her to new things, and I don't want her to be susceptible to being, I don't know, have any anxiety-related issues further on down the track from just being used to being home. So I like to get her out and about. And when she's older, I foresee that we will do a lot of things in the park, and we've got a lot of good things in our town to go do. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with her. But for now, it's just stuck at home, which isn't a lot of fun. But yeah, I know this was a little TMI, but oh well. Bye.